Hi all, my name is Daniel Russo and I'm responsible for the State Planning Department at Fresh Portugal, and I'm here with my colleague and friend Maria Câncio.
Hello.
She's the one that deals directly with all clients and takes care of all the difficulties under these procedures. And we are here to talk with you and and she will explain us all how to proceed and what are the benefits of creating a will in Portugal. So, Maria,
Thanks, Daniel, first for the introduction.
yeah,
We
speak
work
a little
together.
bit about you and tell me everything you can about you and why do you think a will it's an important or almost a mandatory thing to do for
I would say
an
mandatory.
expat.
So, first of all, me and Daniel, we work together both in real estate and state planning. And lately, I'm responsible for handling the state matters in this question. And for today, the will part. As you say, it's mandatory to do a will. Why? First, I don't know if you know, but in Portugal, we have forced heirship rules, which means it's not happening, for instance, in the US because we have clients from the US, from the UK, so different nationalities. But giving the example of the US jurisdiction, normally you can define in your family or outside your family who will inherit your assets. That not happens in Portugal. Portugal has forced ownership rules. So in order to guarantee that your assets and your issues are protected and that you can apply, for instance, in this case, to US law, it's very important to do a Portuguese will that defines that the Portuguese law will not apply to your Portuguese state, okay? But you will convoke the application of the US law, and with that, you can define who will and where inherit your Portuguese assets in Portugal.
Okay, that is a very clever thing to do for someone that it's not from Portugal originally, but it also works for someone that is Portuguese and has other nationalities or no?
Obviously, you can do the opt-out solution. Imagine that you are expat in Portugal and you have a different nationality. In that case, you can apply. It's important to mention that this rule, the opt-out solution, how it's named, comes from a UE regulation. So it applies in Portugal and other countries of the European Union. And you can, yes, do an opt-out solution.
Okay, and we can do, imagine me, I do an opt-out solution. And besides the opt-out solution and the division of the assets, which is one of the most important things to do,
Our clients are the major concern is to do that distribution
yeah,
according to their wishes.
but I have a little kid. Will this imply? Is this important? I don't. Imagine I'm British. I'm living here. I don't have any family.
It's super important, Daniel. Why? Because if you are living in Portugal, if you have a valid visa in Portugal and you are tax resident here, obviously, in the case that you do not nominate legal guardians for your kids and your kids are minors, the Portuguese law will apply. In this case, family courts will define who will be responsible for your kids. So, yes, if you are an expat in Portugal, please do a Portuguese will in order to put your kids safe.
Okay, so the guardians of my kids will be established according to Portuguese rules.
Exactly.
So even if I wanted someone else and I expressed my intention, that's why it's so important to create a Portuguese will. But and probably the procedure will be faster also if I already have someone established.
Obviously, it's very fast. So normally, and in our process, normally in Fresh Portugal, in our department, normally it's first a consultation. So in that consultation, we define what will the process, okay? Then we'll send a template for our clients to give us the information for us to draft the will. After that, we'll discuss. Sometimes the drafts have different versions, and after the final version, we'll schedule the notarization. And me and Daniel, in case more estate planning me, will get witnesses, and I will be the legal translator, and we'll do the notarization. So a very straightforward process and easy one. And
Okay, and another thing, I have the conception, and also the knowledge, but maybe not everyone that
Our
is listening
viewers.
have it. But a litigation procedure regarding inheritance matter takes a long time
long
in
time.
Portugal. I've heard of situations spending of clients that spend 6, 7, 8 years
More
in a court.
sometimes.
More. So it's very important to clear this.
Super important. And also, it's not only to guarantee that your issues are filled, it's in order to avoid problems between the US authorities and the Portuguese authorities in the case of our US clients that will apply to all nationalities.
And to defend the beneficiaries
To
of
defend the
your
beneficiaries, and also if you do not have a will in place in Portugal, obviously the Portuguese authorities need to consultate the home country in order to define who will or not inherit, and you will save a lot of money in lawyers if you do a Portuguese will. So it's a huge and very good investment.
Okay. Another thing, I have two more questions, a couple of more
Come
questions.
ahead.
I have a little kid. For me, it's very important. And I think there is this focus, it's very important for those young couples that think, oh, I'm not old enough to create a will. If me and my wife die and we have no family, the government will take care of my children. It's normal.
Exactly.
Social security services. But then the child will spend what? 2, 3, 4 months with that institution, waiting for the guardian to be established. If we have the will,
guardian and some family members of that kid could argue the legal guardianship in trials, so that could extend for years. So I have saw some examples of after that period of 5 months that the Portuguese government will assume the responsibility of the kids, the family members will discuss on trial who will be the legal guardian. So please avoid all of these issues as an expat, and do a Portuguese will and guarantee. And me and Daniel will include legal clauses on the draft of the will, and that will be notarized, that will avoid any of those issues.
I think that is a major concern for parents.
I'm not yet a parent, but Daniel is.
Yes, I am, and that's one of the things I normally think. If something happens, of course, I'm Portuguese, I have family here, but if I did not have, where would my child sleep? With whom will he stay? So I think this is a strong focus and something that we really need to think about when creating wills.
And we are seeing a huge increase of our clients and out of our network clients to have these questions, to reach out to me and Daniel, and to guarantee that this matter will be solved under the Portuguese will.
Okay. Another thing that I want to speak a little bit with you, it's regarding all these procedures. A lot of clients that we have that establish a Portuguese will with an opt-out solution have wills or trusts in a foreign country. A lot of those wills or trusts have executors in that country. In terms of the procedure in Portugal, it's possible for us to act like executors?
Exactly. We have two different solutions normally. Some clients, they prefer that me or Daniel to be the executors. That happen. Normally it's Daniel because I'm performed as a legal translator. So it's not possible to accumulate the two jobs in this case, but normally we designate the testator that sometimes, not in all cases, are the ones on the US side.
Okay, and this will also help the procedure
procedures,
after the...
obviously, to register the will before the Portuguese tax authorities, the compliance, if there is any stamp duty tax. Why? Because it's important to mention this. We do not have a earned tax yet, because we are talking in a couple of years, the Portugal government to have one, but you have stamp duty. Normally, to direct family members, it's not applied. But if you do not have, for instance, yet kids in my case, probably my estate, if I do not have a will be to my nieces and nephews and so on, or my brothers or my siblings. So in that case, a stamp duty of 10% could apply. So the executor will be handled that, hopefully with our help and our assistance, but only having...
And we'll take care also of all the legal procedures
Just
that
obviously,
need to
you
be
have a
done.
lot of compliance in Portugal as an expat, you may know that, and you are
And
used
it's
that.
possible to be in touch with UK, US, Australia, and
Obviously.
South African executor.
And the executor, obviously, it's very common. Me and Daniel, we work very close with the state lawyers in the home country, so we are very used to this process. So please, if you have any question or any concern, contact us. We are very happy to assist you on this matter.
Have a nice day.
And thank you so much for listening. Subscribe.